Hi everyone, it's William with the 1907 Grand Duke Dmitri Diary series. I'm doing things in the reverse of my usual order today because I started out with 1921 when it was still daylight, and for some reason that is taking hours to upload. Sometimes I have that problem, sometimes not, so I haven't even uploaded that yet. But anyway, I want to get the 1907 diary entry in today and get caught up. So it's a very short one. It's the second part of the diary entry for 26 September 1907, written in the Crimea on a Wednesday. It's also Wednesday here today for a few more hours, 9th of October, though, 2024. So, earlier in the day, what had they done? Earlier in the day, they had gone on their outing to Uchan-su and met a party of disgusting ladies and gentlemen, and then on their way back come across a woman prostrated on the roadside who was very, very ill and turned out to be suffering from an extreme case of food poisoning. Okay, and here is the rest of that diary entry. We got home right in time for dinner, after which we all went to Countess Alsufyeva's. There we found the extremely interesting, nice, and friendly Prince Lieven. We all liked him terribly. He speaks in a remarkably intelligent way, speaks excellent French, and I could listen to him all night. We decided not to go to Aunt Minnie's today, but tomorrow for lunch and stay all day. She invited us to go to Yalta today to watch some game, but we said no because we plan to go to Uchan-su, and tomorrow morning we want to go to see the forest fire in the morning. It's still burning. It stretched for 15 miles and 150 acres of forest were burned. That's what Bekir says. 11:45. As for the boat trip, it's changed again. We're going on the Eriklik since it's free. Naturally, that will be more enjoyable. He means when I see how this sounds now. When I read since it's free, he doesn't mean since they don't have to pay anything. God knows they could afford ferry tickets, but because it's not in use, they'd been previously told that it was in use. It is the yacht. It's a yacht, but it's a naval vessel, and it is the vessel of the commander of the Black Sea Fleet, and they'd originally been told, if you recall, that it would be busy on the day they wanted to leave, on the 29th, but now they're going to be able to go. So he adds that after telling us that it's 11:45 at night. He usually ends with the time, but I guess he had this as an afterthought. So you may have noticed the change of tense when he says that the fire, the forest fire, is still burning. And then he switches to the past tense and says it stretched for 15 miles and 150 acres of forest were burned. So that's a little bit confusing. But, obviously it's under control. It's under control. And there may be a little bit of burning yet going on, but it's not really a threatening thing anymore, is what I take from that. Trying to think in terms of 150 acres, how many acres a typical forest fire here, unfortunately, they can be huge. But it's never really stuck in my mind how many acres we have here with these horrific forest fires. So 15 miles and 150 acres. Oh, well, not good. who is this Bekir who has given Dmitri this information? Well, it could be Dmitri trying to spell the German name Becker phonetically, but since this is the Crimea and you have an indigenous Tatar population, I think he probably spells it correctly, and it's Bekir, transliterated into the Latin alphabet. So some kind of forester or local official. And yeah, they ended up going off to Countess Alsufyeva's, as they thought they might. They had wanted to go to Aunt Minnie's, it seemed like, for dinner. But anyway, they end up going to Countess Alsufyeva's for dinner. And there they find this Prince Lieven. And he's friendly, and he's extremely interesting, and he speaks in a remarkably intelligent way, and his French is very good, so apparently they were speaking in French, and apparently Dmitri's French was good enough that he could say of Prince Lieven that his French was good. And he tells us I could listen to him all night. Well, wouldn't it be nice to have a few more details and know what it was that so appealed to Dmitri? Maybe his sense of humor or talking about current events or something like that. The Lievens were another one of these big, prominent, aristocratic families in Imperial Russia, but of Baltic German ancestry and ethnicity. And it's hard to pin them down because there were quite a few of them. And I was fortunate enough to have Professor Dominic Lieven as my mentor when I was working on my doctoral dissertation. And I was at the University of London at University College, and he was at the London School of Economics, and was very instrumental in my work. And he had an uncle Leo, a Leonid, I don't know what his patronymic was, but Leonid Lieven, who had known Dmitri, and he told me a story that I should have jotted down because now I've forgotten it, about some joke between Uncle Leo and Dmitri. But there was also a Prince Lieven at Sanatorium Schatzalp, which is where Dmitri ended up spending the end of his life from 1939 to 1942. But their stays did not overlap. So this Prince Lieven, Prince Pyotr Lieven, was at Schatzalp before Dmitri and left disgruntled, and told Maria, Dmitri's sister, that she should do what she could to get Dmitri away from the doctor there, Dr. Maurer, because he was a charlatan. And Dr. Maurer was a problematic person, but he was not a charlatan. He was a very highly regarded, even internationally regarded surgeon at this time before antibiotics, when they were treating tuberculosis with surgical techniques. And indeed, Dmitri would go on and have surgery, three operations performed on him by Dr. Maurer. So anyway, this could have been one and the same Pyotr Alexandrovich Lieven, who Dmitri encounters here in the Crimea in 1907. Pyotr Alexandrovich was born in 1887, so he would have been 19 or 20 years old, depending on what month his birthday was. And, that would make sense, that Dmitri would find another young man his own age appealing. And let's see, what was he? Well, he was a diplomat. Career-wise, he went on to become a diplomat, and then in the emigration, a publisher. And he and Dmitri and Maria definitely all knew each other and remained in contact with each other because, as I say, he had spoken directly to Maria about Dr. Maurer. and she was inclined to listen to him. But Dmitri just thought that, that Prince Lieven at that point was just kind of full of it, as we say in rather crude American English. But anyway, yeah, that's about all I can say about that. And at some point, I haven't been in touch with Dominic Lieven for a long time. I wonder what he would have to say about this. But at any rate, we have, so this is the 26th, we have diary entry, one more diary entry for the 27th. And then actually they end up leaving the Crimea a little earlier than they thought they would. So I guess that's why they're able now to take this naval yacht. All right. Boy, I'm rambling, my friends. I will see you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye.